Hey guys, Hanor here. Alright, anyways, the dev server is out today, and I wanted to bring to you guys everything that's going to be available, especially since it's going down at 2100 GMT, which in West Coast is 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Mountain, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. So most of us Americans, we're not going to have too much of an opportunity to check out this dev server. So anyways, first of all, I'm going to go down by some lines and everything, but one of the big things, open beta tanks is going to be out with this patch. Check it out. You can select tank battles or air battles here. Alright, moving on from that. I know that's a big one. We've all been waiting for it. Okay, now for the American line. First I'm going to cover all added planes, and then I'll come back to other things. Alright, for the Americans, they're getting 2 PBJs, peanut butter jellies. Yes, I know we're going to hear a lot about that. Alright, anyways, that is the Navy B-25. Alright, I already bought the first one. This one has a 75mm with 21 rounds of ammo. That's pretty nice. 4.0 battle rating. And the second one, 4.0 battle rating as well, has 12 50 cals in the nose. This one had 8 included with the 75mm, which is already amazing. In my opinion, actually, this is going to be the best one, just because of that. But still, 12 50 cals in the nose. Who's not going to have fun with that? I'm looking forward to it. Okay. The bomber line, it got moved. They moved it over. It's now protruding from the or the PBYs, I'm sorry, the Catalinas, and coming down. So that's a big change there. It used to be coming straight down here. You had some naval bombers, whatnot, that came out this way, and it stopped. Yeah, they swapped that around. It's pretty interesting. Okay. Like I said, I'm sticking with the aircraft first. So, I'm going to jump over to Japan. Japan's not getting any new aircraft, but what they are getting is Kai 45s with new cockpits. Alright? I know that's compensation. Here's the thing. Japanese documents, they're rarer, harder to translate, and so forth. I can give some understanding toward it, and I do feel the hurt though. I love the Japanese planes, but at the same time, the line's pretty decent actually. It's a little bit, not, lacking in the top heavy end, but compared to every other nation now, but it's still pretty nice all the same. All right, moving over to Britain. First things first, they're getting their first Tier 4 premium fighter for 7,000 Golden Eagles, which is way too high in my opinion. But anyways, that's the initial cost that they're throwing it out there as. And also another thing I noticed, as you can see, the reward. This is realistic battle rewards, 170 plus 170%. I don't think that's accurate because everything else is higher. Yeah, even the Tier 2s have higher. Weirway doesn't, so yeah. It's only higher than Tier 1s. It's the only thing it's higher than. Alright, but anyways, it's got your standard armament for a Spitfire, 220 Hispanos, and 430 cal Brownings. It's not that bad. Battle rating's 5.7 default though. That's higher than the Mark 9s. However, technically it probably should be higher than the Mark 9s. And we'll leave it at that for now. Okay, now coming over here, they're also adding another 14E, but it's only got a 5.0 battle rating. This one's also, instead of having the Browning 30 cals, it's got 2 Browning 50 cals in the place. And performance gets better as you move to the next one. As you can see here, we go up in speed, You know, turn gets better. Everything gets slightly better. And you still have the same armament though. So, you know, slight improvements. Still 5.0 for these two. I'm sure that'll be adjusted over time as more data's come. Alright, now let's go to Russia. Russia plane-wise. MiG-3. This MiG-3 is the first MiG-3 with 20mm cannons. It's got it's probably faster. These both have some upgrades on them. In fact, I think this one might be fully maxed out. Oh yeah, definitely fully maxed out. But let's turn these off just so we can compare. Let's give a good comparison. Oh, hate that. Alright. Comparison wise. Faster. On height though. And height's a lot higher, so it may not truly be faster because, you know, the data card, and this is something I'm going to take a side note to step on right here that's not really covered. The on height is pretty much where all this reference data is compared at that altitude. And as we know, as you get higher in altitude, air gets thinner, planes can travel faster. So at 25,000 feet, max speed can be faster than this plane at 13,000 feet. So it might be the same speed. Hey Rebel, making a lot of racket, but alright, anyways. Turn time 20.7, 24.6. Like I said, that still might be the same. Thinner air, it's harder to turn. 11.1 meters a second climb, 11 meters a second, so this one probably definitely climb better. You know, it's hard to really say without actually testing them. Looks like we're getting the new I-185. It's faster. Turn time's looking a little better. Climb rate looks a little worse. It's lower altitude though, so everything else is better. So I'd imagine eventually it'd probably climb better. And the IL-10, this new IL-10, this one has 423s. That's just mean, very, very mean. You know, no other differences though, from what I know. All right. Anyways, moving on. Now, I moved to Germany last. Why? There's a lot of interesting additions here. Okay. Plane additions. Getting two 262s. You're getting a new one in the C line, which is one I've actually been waiting on. This one's gonna be nice. This one has twin rocket boosters. They're mounted above the engines. I'll show them to you. Right, check that out. Yeah, twin rocket boosters are mounted above the engine. Very nice. I did do a test flight on this thing. It gets very fast. I think they also increased the dive speed for every one of them, if not only this one. But but this one could dive at near 700 miles per hour. I ripped my wings at 705 or something like that. If they made that true for the other 262s, it's definitely going to change how they are played drastically. And 50mm Me-262. Now, they moved over all the 50mm 410s and up. They moved them over and up. And this is down that line. Alright, now, some of the big changes. Okay. Let's go back here first. Bearcats. First Bearcats dropping in battle rating to 5.7 from 6.0. To me, that is awesome. The 51s dropped from 5.3 to 5.0. I don't mind that too much, even though the plane is great. These are the big tier 4 changes. I know they've dropped or yeah, they dropped. I'm sorry, they dropped the little Era Cobras ratings a bit, and the King Cobras. Yeah, 3.3 as well for that one. Really? Okay, they raised the Era Cobras, and then they dropped the King Cobras. What they did. I'm kind of mixed feelings about that, because to me these planes already fly funny already as it is, because they pretty much outperform every plane out there for most part. Accelerate great and dives, maneuverability and stuff, and a lot of things that I've heard a lot of people. That's how they were. No, they're like, well, they seem fine. No. Here's the thing about this. Maybe some of you guys have realized this. As you can see right here, these are the exhaust vents. This is where the engine is. The engine sits behind the plane. The balance of the plane is thrown way off by this. Historically, these planes would if they entered a sharp turn, would flat spin. Okay? That's the reason why normally these planes were used for ground attack rolls. The ones that were used, and we, as Americans, we took most of these and said, here, you guys can have these. The P-400s went to the British. A lot of these other ones we sent over to Russia. The British didn't even really want them, so that's the reason why we sent most of the others over to Russia. They were just a bad plane. In this game, amazing plane. But real life, bad plane. But anyways, alright. Moving on. Alright. Going back to Germany. I don't know why it keeps throwing me on the Army page. We'll cover the Army changes in a bit. Alright. Battle ratings. 4.3s increased. 5.0 decrease. Alright. They also bumped this one up, I believe. Yep, they bumped the A5 to the same rating as the A5U2. Doesn't bother me too much. The D9 is still the same. I heard that it got dropped, but it's still the same. They increased this one to a 6.0. This used to be 5.7. And they increased the 163 to 8.0, at least for the time. It definitely needed it. I've been seeing a lot of posts about this saying, oh, that's bad. Right now, this thing outperforms every jet in its class, in its previous tier class, and can compete with higher ones. It can definitely outperform Panthers, Sabres, Swept Wings, and stuff. It may not be able to outperform them in every way, but it can definitely outturn them. People are like, oh, it's got 6 minutes of fuel. The way I fly a 163, it's got 15. So that's going to be a nice change. They increased the 262s though. I don't know why they increased all of them. I would expect maybe the rocket ones, but not the A1s, but I'm guessing that's because often or not these were matched with these. They got higher win ratios than they probably should have. Yada yada. Long story short, same thing with these. These got buffed as well. Same story there. Alright, moving over to the Russians. Big change. The biggest change here was the 8.3 drop to the 8.3 for the MiG-15 BIS, and the 8.0 for the MiG-15. Why? I have no idea. A lot of people think this might entail for the MiG-17 to be added. It did make the cutoff time in 1943 for introduction, so maybe it will. Who knows? Alright, moving on. British. This Mosquito here has been marked as an attacker, finally. I have a friend that would literally say every day, why is it listed as a heavy fighter and a light bomber if it cannot carry bombs? And it doesn't have an armament to fight. I've been telling them every day, they'll probably switch it to an attacker soon. Bam, there it is. Alright. Good stuff there. There was no other real changes. on that. Now, I do know the Japanese, they changed up a lot of ratings. A lot of people are happy about most of them, I think. There was just a few they didn't like this one's they didn't like for some reason. Personally, I don't really feel any issues with the Japanese. I feel comfortable in every tier range out there. I think most of the issues that are out there with the Japanese planes are, yeah, they dropped these to 5.0, 5.3. But this one I think stayed, no, it's 5.0 as well. Anyways, but, I don't really know why there's necessarily issues with those, but, you know, I think it more or less has to do with time period accuracy kind of thing, and for the sake of balance, sometimes you can't do that. Alright, anyways, moving over to here. T-35's been added. I've seen the T-80 before, so I don't know how that's new. Supposedly that one's new. The light tank, yes. No, not the 1960s T-80 or 70s T-80. Alright, there was supposed to be a KV-1E that was supposed to be added. I don't see it anywhere. Anywhere at all. In fact, looking down these tiers, I don't really see any direct changes other than last one, I think, moving to tier 3 now. No, I don't see any changes whatsoever. They combine that. I don't really see any changes here. Outside of the T-34, the prototype gift tanks are now, for the packages are now here. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't know. And the price for that prototype's a little bit much. I mean, here, look. Tier 3, 1600. 1650 for Tier 1. Tier 3, 1600. 1650 for Tier 1. Makes sense? No, not to me. I mean, it'll probably be super devastating in Tier 1. I get that, but does it mean I'm going to pay that much for it? Probably not. Who knows? Maybe I will. Alright, anyways. Hitzer. I know I saw a debate about the Hitzer's name being actually called a Hitzer. I only know it as a Hitzer, so it doesn't bother me, but anyways, yeah, it's in. It's got the 75. Nice. Alright. Looking for any other changes. I think they bounced this up. This used to be in Tier 2. They bounced up to Tier 3. Everything else looks the same. My research in the Panther 2's gone, kind of, but alright. Also got the Sherman here. That's nice. I don't really see these other tanks that were supposedly in, but anyways, that's the big changes there. The Sherman looks nice. Anyways, so these are the big changes on the dev server. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more content to come. Alright, catch you guys later.